And we're back. This is Nerd Dad on episode 26 of our Factorio playthrough. And we're going to see if we can get this base finished off now, just quickly around this bit of ore. So we'll just get our automatic stuff going. We could try to turn it probably pretty tight here, so maybe we'll just keep this really as small as possible. Let's see if that'll work. We'll just bump that one right there. Just pick this up real quick and smuck that one into there. Put that one on the end there. We're getting there. You see all these bots doing our thing for us. Not too sure I want to finish this piece off here because I'm going to just figure out where we're going to put our outs, what we're going to do for our trains, all those kind of good things. So, it's looking good. Hey, did we make sure we had lots of miners? I bet you we didn't. And how's our ore doing? We gotta make sure it's all connected and then we'll get it all up and running. Did we not bring ourselves any at all? Let's just grab a little bit out of there. There we go. Just enough for us to do our thing here. Connect that. We should have a little bit of wall in our bag. And we can just seal this off. I'm not sure why this guy's having problems. I'll just grab him. He seems to be hovering there for some strange reason. Looks like our power didn't quite connect here on the corner, so you gotta watch out for that. Sometimes the power just doesn't get itself all the way around. But that's pretty good. And just sort of seal off these corners now. Now we could of course build, we could have built things to make sure that that all worked out, but we're not gonna worry about it too much. I noticed probably don't have enough power poles in our things, so we'll just do it manually. Why not? Okay. There we go. That was a pretty quick expansion. Looks like we need another power pole. And just in case we missed any, what we want to do is we're just going to throw some more in here. That way we'll make sure that if there are any out there, they'll run out and do it for us. There's a couple we seem to have missed. Okay, now let's start thinking about our rail. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually do a two-ended train. We're going to put engines on both sides. And of course that's why they don't know what to do, because we haven't given them the yellow box to come back into the storage chest. I call them warehouse boxes for some. Oh, it's because we're still building it. Because we were still doing that. That is why. Okay. So we got a couple options. We could bring it in and do a loop and have the train just kind of do a pattern. But we're actually going to put engines on both ends of our train, and we're going to actually bring it in here. We could bring it in nice and tight right in here and fit it in. Don't really need to. I find that, as long as you have enough ammo on this line, these guns will protect. Now, hang on, we seem to be a little stingy on the ammo here, apparently. So we'll just get that going. And the other thing we are going to want to do is make sure that we have this going in a full loop. So we should finish that off as well. Whoops. And how are we going to do this? I think we'll just bring it over the top like this. There we go. So once we get this in line, now you can see right now we're getting 2 ammo per. You can do that if you like. The advantage to it is it's going to try to feed 2 into the guns if they're really burning through the ammo, which can be great. Just because we might be a little limited here, what we can do is we can actually limit the stack size. We can override it down to 1, just like that, and then basically we'll get that little spacing that we like to see. Now, it's not bad having 2. I'm just not sure we have enough ammo to get all the way around this loop, so we'll just do that for now. Okay, now the next thing we want to look at here is we have our stations, or our train stops as they're called. I'll refer to them as stations quite a bit, but they are train stops because you don't necessarily need to build a train station, in quotes. You can just build a stop, just a place for the train to temporarily park until it goes on to the next part, which might be what you were calling a station. Okay, so this is where he's going to go, and what I'm looking at is I'm looking at where those white boxes are. That's telling me where the various components of the train will be for loading and unloading, and I kind of want it like there, I'm thinking. That should work out pretty good for us. So we could actually snip the rest of this. I just wasn't sure what it was going to look like. And then we've already got these green inserters going in, so what we're going to do, these stack inserters, we're going to go 4 like that. Now there's all sorts of different ways of setting this up. This is just what we're going to go with. And for right now, we're just going to do one side just to see how it works out for us. We are going to want a bunch of iron chests, and we are going to want a lot of miners. Now we've got a bunch already, but we are going to want a bunch more. We're going to want to fill this whole thing with miners. Okay, so the other thing is we're going to have to use, no, we could probably use red. I was thinking we're going to have to use yellow, but no, it looks like we can probably get away with it. Got a big attack going on back at the base. That's okay as long as it's not here. And just kind of thinking a little bit about how we're going to do this. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do, there's all sorts of different ways we can look at doing this, but we're just going to do it like this for now. And it looks like I'm going to need one more chest. And we're going to have to build a steel one just because we don't have another one. And then I'm going to put blues on this side. Now you can do other stack inserters on this side. I am going to use blues for what I want to do here. We're going to put in some fast track here. We are going to put on some splitters, just kind of like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring in 3 lines here, and we're going to basically just jump them right onto those splits, and that's going to fill up those boxes evenly. We want to have these boxes evenly fed as opposed to filling a box in another, because as long as it's filled evenly, then we're going to pull off evenly and keep filling the train cars as evenly as possible. So that's kind of what we want to shoot for. Okay, now if we can get 3 lines, I got all sorts of different ways of going about it here. So what we're going to do is just put this on this end. And 1, 2, 2. Whoops. And another one right there. That one is a good. Just trying to make sure we get some. Whoops. And we got a few more miners here. And what we might do is we might just start with 2 cars here, just to kind of show how it's going to work. And there's a couple other things we still got to think about in our process here. Whoop. And we're going to need one. It looks like we're going to need a couple more on the outside there, and we'll wait for those. But in the meantime, we can throw down some power lines, and we'll do them on the side. I'll just keep bumping those all the way along like that. Get that in place. Finally throw some lights in here so we can see a little bit. Not going to be able to see anything until we get some power in here, so we'll just bump a power line across. There we go. And they're all going to move magnificently for us. We'll just throw another plate in there. Oh, that's not going to work. How about there? And there we go. Give us a little bit of shine. And I think we'll just keep working on the ammo. And we'll put another one there, down on the end here. And what's that going to do for us? That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 2, 4, 12, 14, 15. A little bit high on this end. Okay. So we will just try to make sure we got enough coming in here. Maybe we will do all 3, but we will just leave a little bit at the top there to fill in later. So do we have enough for 5 more? We'll have to come back and fill in the next little bit, and that's okay. Oops. Looks like we need more power. Okay. We're on our line out there like that. Yeah, we'll just do the same thing here. And one more from down here. Question is, do we have enough? Yeah, we might have to go and pick up some more track too. We're going to be a little bit shy on the track, I'm thinking. So, a little bit of a concern there as well. So, and this one's going to be a little bit harder to do. Let's just pinch that one in a bit, and we'll do this one like this. I have a feeling we're going to be short a bit of our track. So we're going to have to go pick some of that up. Now luckily for us, it'll probably be built up by the time we get here. But there goes one. I'm going to snip this one because I want it to kind of, the whole thing to be as even as possible. That's about all we got, unless we got some in here, which I don't think we do. Okay. And we're going to want to get some power on here. I want to use these bigger ones for this. It's just, I find it's a lot better. You just basically hopscotch it like this. The other thing we got is we're kind of short guns here. We got some gun range going there from here, so we might have to leave these ones in place. If we do, we're going to want to kind of feed our ammo line this way. A little bit weak there, but the issue is, I mean, when we look where they're going to come from, chances are they're not going to go up this way and then come down from this way. They're most likely going to come from these other angles, so it's one of those things we can say, well, we can take a bit of a chance. A bit of risk. Guess we should have left a way for our car to get out, eh? And do we have any doors? Probably not. Well, we'll just have to build ourselves a little temporary one right now. Okay, let's go get some more transport belts and goodies. And what else do we need? I think we're pretty good once we get to the transport belt. Ooh, look at that. Without zooming in, I even made it through. That's almost like a Christmas miracle, that was. Alright, get out here. And again, I'm looking the wrong way, so I drove into a light, so that was great. It should be up here somewhere. We should be looking at all sorts of transport belts. Perch. 1,000 of them. That's what we wanted to see. Alright, what else did we say we were going to probably need when we were here? That's my question. I'm not really sure what I wanted. I was like, there's something else I wanted when I was up here. We likely could use some more ammo since we're right here. Just make sure we've got this filled up. There's a few hundred rounds of that. I note that we're bleeding that line as well, so that's not great. Okay, well, we're kind of making our way there. A little bit jerky, but we're getting there. And just pull in here. Oh, what I wanted was a bunch of ore and stuff. Oh, well. We'll be okay. Okay, because we're going to have to get up there to get it anyways. And we can just pull this. Problem with the faster tracks, you accidentally step on them, they go rocketing forward. Alright, get that going. That one's going. I'm not sure what I was doing right there. That was interesting. Okay, hopefully, if I replace this track and actually put it somewhere where it's useful. Oh, we're taking some attack here. Looks like we got a bit of a fight going on, which is why I wanted to bring over extra ammo here. I was thinking to us, this could be bad. And what we're going to do here is we're going to actually peel off this side of the track like this, and we're going to just kind of snip this track like this to get that doing the thing we wanted to do. That probably wasn't the best way of doing that. Well, the good news is we're pulling off two. We'll leave this as pulling off two in this one, so it kind of does the same thing. Okay, and then we'll throw a little bit more ammo in there just to keep this safe for a while. Get a bit of a backlog. Okay. I noticed that, oh look, we're going to have a little more trouble here than I was thinking we were going to have. Alright, I want to see if we're ready for our armor since we're here as well. So we got our heavy armor. We're going to replace it with this nice modular armor. And what you do is you right click on your modular armor and it gives you a little grid of things that you can put into it. So we have the ability to put in these solar panels. I think I overbuilt. I gotta think about this a little bit. And we're going to put a couple batteries in. We want to make sure we have enough room for our personal roboport. And we're going to want modular armor too, which is probably going to fit that square right there, I believe. So we can ask for the modular armor. And once we get that, we'll put it in as well, and that'll give us a little bit more armor on top of what we've got already. I mean, this comes with armor. The modular armor, you know, it does have its own. But once we get it put on this extra little energy shield, it's going to help us out a lot. So there we go. So now we're nice and full, and what we'll find is the battery over here will slowly charge in the daylight. Right now we're at night, so it's going to take a while. But what we have is, we have some robots. And we don't need this roboport really here anymore, so we can actually steal a good chunk of these guys. And what will happen now is, you'll see the robots will start actually using me as a personal roboport. They'll come to me personally. So that is nice. Now what we got to do is figure out how we're going to run this train track up and what we're going to do with it. So I'm thinking all we're going to do right now is we're going to kind of make this a cheesy little one. We're not going to do it to a main station. We're going to, well actually maybe we'll just sneak it in right here as an offloader and see if we can get this to work. So maybe we will. I don't know. I'm just going to bring this up and then kind of right about here make a curve, and we're just going to run this straight up like this. And they've made it so easy. Back in the day you used to have a straight track and curve pipe. It was so hard to build anything with rail, but it is so easy now with the way they've got it working. So I'm just going to stop right there, and I'm going to figure out how we could come in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to split these guns up. We're just going to... the only thing that's really sad when you split these guns up is if they've got lots of kills. Not like these ones, but say our ones up top that have like a couple thousand kills now. You feel bad because they go back to 0. It's like they never were. And I know there's something about that where I'm like, oh, I wish I could keep the kill count per gun. But I'm sure that has its own problems. Okay. Now we should be able to, and especially once we get this mined out of here, because we've already got most of this mined out. Once this little bit gets pulled out of here, this will work really well. I'm just thinking about how we're going to do this. If we do this side first, then we could do the other side. So we'll just try to wedge this as far forward as we can. And actually we did all three, didn't we? So if we look at and put where our rail stop's going to be, our train stop, it's going to be right there. That's going to mean we're going to be able to offload now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to need another one back here, so just kind of getting ourselves set up. I'll have to use a red here, unfortunately, just because I didn't bring any yellows with me. Go like that, gives us a bit more space though, that's okay. And we'll just finish this out like this, and just see where we can get the rest of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now this is going to be a little bit goofy in that it's going to be thick on the line, as they say. Now, if we were to put all these in a row, the chances are it would kind of get itself all stuck up. There's lots of ways of doing this. If you understand that the inserters will feed the right side of the track, we can actually put a curve right there on this one, and we know that this one will try to keep feeding that right side. And we can do this all the way down, and this basically will double side each one of these. So it's kind of a little T thing we can do. And what we can do is we can bring this over, and we can actually see if depending on how thick this is going to get, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if we can get 2 of these feeding here. And I'm going to see if this last one basically can come as a sort of a surplus line for us. And what I mean by that is we're going to get a little bit goofy here. This one we're going to bump over like this. We're going to bring it down into here. And yeah, I knew you were going to cause me grief, you miserable cur. That's okay. Oh, keep going the wrong way. Just turn around this way. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do something similar with this one. But we're going to do it a little bit further down here. I'm going to bring this one down like this. And how do I want to tie this one in? Let's think about this a little tiny bit. Yeah, we're just going to do a bit of a zigzag here. So this one's kind of ugly. And it isn't what I'm going to typically do for a lot of our stuff going forward. We're just kind of doing a quick little thing here. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm going to put some logic on some of this line. And it's me also testing a little bit about what is this capable of. I want to see what we're going to get out of that field down there. So I'm doing a little bit of theory challenging for myself here. And I do that sometimes just on the fly. Okay, so the other thing we know is we need our train engines to get some fuel. So we have to worry about that as well. So we want an engine's going to be there. And we know that there's going to be another engine way down here. Both of those are going to require fuel. So we're going to want something else. We're going to want to run some line like this. This one actually could be way better if it was yellow. So we'll see if we can do as much of that in yellow as we can. I got guns going off down there. That's nice. I might bring the car up to finish this coal line. And we're going to bring in this line like this. Got some more guys dying to the north there. Okay. So what we've done is we've just set up the coal at each end. So when we look at our train station, we've got 3 cars worth, and there will be a 4th car. So there's going to be an engine on the end. So there's going to basically be a 5 5 cars long. And so we'll have this one feed coal, this one will feed coal. We'll put a splitter right here. I might convert these to yellow in a little bit. And we're going to have to pull off this line here and figure out how to get it over there. So I think we'll do something like this. And just snip this line out a bit. And then bring the coal in down here. And bump it across. You can bump that one probably most of the way there. Yeah, we'll just jump it right over. And same over here. Do another little jump right there. Splitter. Oh, one too high. And we'll just run yellow there. Alright, so there we go. We've got our coal coming in. It's going to get ready to feed our cars here. Now we're going to set up our train. So, we're actually going to set it up here just so it can load up on coal. And we have our engines. So we're going to put one facing forward. So we're going to turn it around. You can see it already starting to load up. We want the 3 cars that we built. We want the cargo cars. Whoops, I built that in the wrong place. You can see the little green circles saying, hey, it's good, it's connected. And then we're going to need to get the rest of this done. So, grenades or robots. Can we get robots out here? Oh, beautiful. We'll just use robots then. Much safer. And the only thing that we've got as a bit of a problem here is, I'm going to see if we can kind of curve this last car in. I'm not too sure it's going to work. Yeah, we kind of a little bit tight on this curb here, so we're going to probably have to just do a little bit of goofing around. Getting this train track set up properly. Didn't quite work out for the... I got to be a little bit careful on it. If I get it too... how did I run out of train track? Are you kidding me? Wow. There's always some little nuance, isn't there? Okay. We'll go down and get our car. I thought we had lots of train track on us. Because we definitely didn't go through 1,000. I would be shocked if that was 1,000 train track. It's only like a couple hundred. Okay. And the thing is, this is actually short enough that we probably could have just run a line, but it's a little bit safer actually with the train track. And why don't we grab a couple of these as well, just to finish that off properly. And we can see that these are getting nice and full now. They're, you know, up to about 1,000. It's pulling off at a decent rate. We should check our power out, just make sure. Yeah, we're still doing great with the power. I was kind of hoping we were going to get more off of there, so maybe we need to improve our mining even better. But that's okay. It isn't as quite as fast as I want, but that was almost 1,000 in a box, and then when we've got, you know, almost 4 boxes per, you can think we're almost up to about 12,000 ore there, so that's, you know, it's nothing horrible about it. And we're going to do something like this, see if we can just sneak this line in like that. There we go. We can snip the rest of this out. Okay, so we don't really need any other signals on this train line right now, so we're not going to talk about signals right now. We're just going to say, hey, we've got a train set up. We're going to put an engine on this end. And we're going to talk a little bit about how we're going to tell this train what to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start naming some things. I like to rename all my stations. I don't like to try to remember what new station names I have. So we're going to call this one Steel Ore Drop. Steel Ore Drop. And we'll call it Southeast. And we will just, you know, if we want, we can recolor it. Sometimes I like to say, hey, I know what this is going to be. It's going to be like a 120. It's 120 and it's 255, and it's going to look like the blue like the ore, and that's kind of what I like shooting for those. And then what I can actually do is I can actually copy that color right over, which is kind of nice, and I can just paste it onto that one as well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to look at our map, and I'm going to show you can actually do this by map too. I can actually click on the station on the map, and I can actually rename it from here, and we're going to call this Ore, we'll call this Iron Ore Depot 01. And hit a return, and we can actually change the color from here. So we can do the same thing. We can go 120, and I wouldn't be surprised. Let's try it. I think we can actually go in and shift insert and actually just paste it right in as well. So you can see you can pretty well shift paste even from map mode if you can actually see the thing. So we were close enough that we could actually see it on our radar, so we were lucky there. Okay, now, why isn't it moving? Well, it's not moving because we haven't made it automatic yet. So all we got to do is we got to basically just go flip the switch. So we're going to do that. We're going to jump on the train by hitting enter, and we're just going to say go automatic. But that's not going to do anything because we haven't told it where to go. Oops. So we're going to add a station. The first station we're going to say we want you to go to Iron Ore Depot 01, and we're going to say your item count before you can leave there needs to be iron ore, and we're going to want 3,000. So as long as you're greater than or equal to 3,000 ore, and we can use this slider, set, then you can leave. And that's basically what we've told it. And then we can come here and we can say, okay, then we want you to go to steel ore drop north, and you can leave when your inventory is empty. Now that doesn't include the coal in the engines. It only includes what's in the cars. And we go automatic. And there we go. Our train starts out. This is why I love trains in this game. Really easy to tell them what you want to do. And this one's not going to get to go very fast because it's a very short ride. It's going to be just we're kind of just bunting at a little short distance. But I want to do this here because once we start to expand further, we're going to start pushing this line further and further out, and we'll keep stretching this line. So it's good to kind of start early, start small, keep this defended, and then we can just keep pressing. Alright, and we should see this load up relatively quickly because we got the stack inserters, so they're really loading quickly. And once each of these hits about 1,000, we should be in pretty good shape. There we go. So one of them took a little bit extra, and that one at the top end's still catching up a bit. So there we go. So it's a short little ride for us. You'll find that the bugs will try to come and chew on this, which is why I wanted to make sure we had guns on each side. And there we go. We're offloading. So what we didn't do is I wanted to put some logic on this to stop this from happening. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw some logic on here as well. And we're going to do logic like this. We're going to tell this one to become a read-only. So what I did is I just clicked on there and clicked on there with the wire. We're going to say read-only and just keep going. And we're going to tell this one that when ore equals 0, it can feed ore. And what? Oh, I didn't give this a hold. We have to put hold on not pulse. So what will happen is this one will keep feeding all its ore until this one, once this one's empty, this one will go. And what you'll see is we're backlogging, and I did this on purpose. Often what I'll do is onboard into boxes, but this was all about making sure this line was full. So if we're going into a place where we know we're easily going to chew through it down the line, then typically what I do is put in boxes and have the train go back and forth and fill it. I'm not worried about that here. What I know is I'm going to end up finish mining off this, and for right now I don't want to get a backlog here. I just want to kind of get this engine coming in here, sitting here until it's empty, and then going and getting us another load. Okay, and we're going to do that by pulling another little trick here, and we're kind of already got it going. You can see what's going on is that this line can't unload while this is still being unloaded. So if we're going to put boxes on anything, what we might do is throw some boxes down at the end here, and that allows us to unload this car while these two are getting empty, and then this one becomes sort of a buffer for us. It's not a bad plan. I'm kind of thinking maybe I might want to do that. In fact, we're gonna pull that together. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move this up a little bit. We're gonna do the exact same thing here. We're gonna change this to a couple of blues like this, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some boxes right in there. Let's put a blue on there as well, and we're gonna throw in. Oh, I know why we had problems down there. We forgot to put down our steel box at the end of that other one, so it was only running with 3 stack inserters. Now we don't want these to get too full, so I'm just going to tell these to kind of just do this. I don't want them to be that full. And they should all be in good line. Perfect. And we'll go down and put this last steel box down the other one. And we should be basically able to just leave this alone at this point. I'm feeling like we're okay here with this kind of weak defense right here. If we really want to, we can easily come in here and grab some stone walls just to give us a little more defense, and we can just run a little wall down in here. Just turn this off. Whoops. Here comes our train, and we can just put a little defense there, and that would allow us basically to, these guns can easily reach across that wall, and it just gives the train a little bit of protection in case the bugs came in. Alright, and you've got stuff sticking out here, so if you really want to, you can kind of come out. And you can put gates on the ends and all sorts of things. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Mind you, he's out of our range, so maybe what we should do is just think about putting one gun right, somewhere out here where we can actually reach it. So we'll just do something like this. Give this end of the train just some sort of defense. We'll just do something like that. And give it a little power. And then we'll put a little wall just kind of sticking out here like this. Just a little goofy wall. And we should be able to pretty well leave that. You see the train came in and it filled up right away. This is just going to keep going. Oh, I almost forgot to put that steel box in there again. Not there. Not there, you fool. Right there. That's why we were having troubles. So you can see that these ones are almost full, but this poor guy, he just can't kind of catch up. But he'll catch up eventually because these guys are all going to get full. The only downside is they can only hold, 3 and a bit. We could say we only want this one to hold 3 and a bit and kind of match it up. It's 3 and 2, right? Yeah. Alright. It's just because we had to build steel ones instead of other ones. I'm not sure why. I thought we had some ore. See the ore we have in the car? Oh, that's what we have. We could have easily made one of those. There we go. Now we don't have to goof around with it. Now we're going to want to pick it up. So, too late. Okay. So the other thing we're going to want to do here is just fill in that wall behind us. And this can pretty well run self-sufficiently. We could get the rest of this ore coming off. I'm not going to worry about it too much. We seem to be doing fine. I'm not going to stress it too much. I like sometimes having just a little bit left so I have time to build the next thing when I notice, oops, I'm running out of ore. Allows me just to kind of get something else going. The only thing we have to worry about now is not getting hit by the train because they will crush our tiny being. So that's good, but it's nice and solid in there now, so there we go. You can see that the robot kind of jumped out of our portable and tried to heal us what we were driving, so it takes it a while to catch up. Okay, so what I want to look at right now is just see how the steel's going. And we've got all the burners going online now, and that's because we basically made sure the line was just absolutely jammed full, and now we've got it back and working. That's what we were shooting for. I think that's not the only reason we've backed up the steel. I don't think we were pulling as much as we were before, but it allowed us to get this back up. And we are kind of in a position right now, when you look at how much ore we've got coming in here, we could actually, almost double down on this steel, but we're not quite there yet. So I just kind of want to move on from there. Oops, and I want to keep driving the telephone poles because, it's the thing I do. Okay, so now that we've addressed some of that, and we've still got to worry about, see if I can get through here without crashing into something. Oh, apparently I got a bunch of fans that want to give me some stuff here. Yes, we must give you copper. Gifts of copper. I don't know why. I don't know what I ever did for them, but here's the other problem we're going to have. We can see it starting to unfold. We've got the exact same problem starting up here. And this one's going to be a bit bigger problem. This is our main ore bus. And you can see that it's starting to peter out. We've got bunches of these. We have a lot of these that have stopped producing, which means that they're empty. In fact, why don't we just get a bit of a visual and kind of go, okay, this guy's empty, this guy's empty, he's done. Who else is done? It looks like this guy's done. Those guys are all going, so that's not too bad. So it's not horrific, but this guy's only got like 144 left. That one's done. That guy over there, way over here, is done. And a bunch of these have just very little left. So what we're going to do is let's get the rest of these, this end bit here on. And we do have this little tailing down here, so we're going to grab that as well. We're going to kind of get this all back online a little bit. So we'll quickly remedy it. Not quite ready for electric yet. We could go... Yeah, I don't really use a lot of this stuff. I don't think I've ever used the combat shotgun, and that would be kind of fun to try. So I wouldn't mind trying the combat shotgun just to see what it does that's better than the shotgun. So might play with that a bit. Not really ready for any of those things. Why don't we get laser turrets? Thinking about that a little bit. Okay, and we'll just bring this guy up like this. And just kind of bring these guys. Get everybody back up to speed here. Say, hey, look, we got to get some more ore, guys. And just throw, so where's the power? Power's right there, power's right there, and you guys have got power? Everybody but you. Nobody liked you. Okay, and I guess we're going to have to start doing something about carrying some extra yellow line or something. Okay, and got all that connected, so that's going to give us a little bit more ore coming out of here. But I think it's time for us to really seriously consider tapping the rest of this end out if we've got the miners for it. And we don't. But didn't we build some miners somewhere? Didn't we build like a whole bunch of them? just sitting like on a row, something like this, where we could just run and grab 50 of them? I think we did. And there we go. That's where we really need to get these passive providers up, because then we could just start asking for stuff and not having to go search for it. But we will get there. Okay, that's one there, so that's going to have to be there. You can go there. This guy has to live there. Okay. This is going to be really kind of weird how we're going to have to set this up, just because we've got to... We're actually going to have to stretch this across, because I need these, I need the footprint of these to be on each side of this so they can mine what's underneath that track. Those two tracks there, so we've got to kind of shove these together. I think that guy's got the whole thing, so we can actually just do this. That should work. Oh, this side, that side, and there. That should be just about everything we need. Now, we know we have some yellow stuff down here. Did we delete it all, or did we keep it? I wouldn't mind a bit more yellow track. I thought we didn't delete the box. Good, we didn't. Just a little bit more. I know we have some in the car, but we've left that somewhere. We're always leaving our cars in places. We'll go and find it at some point. Or maybe we won't. Who knows? Okay. And we will just do a little jump over there. Oops. Kind of like this, and you can jump over like this. Alright. Come on. And just get this finished up real fast, and we should be in pretty good shape. That'll get us going for a little bit at least. I think what we're going to do is meld these two together right here. And then we'll just use this one pipe. And I just want to see how we're doing up here. It's not great, but it's not bad. And we'll meld these two together as well. Oh, I don't think we want to do that right there. It looks like we got a little bit of ore there we're going to want to pick up. So we need, where's our miner? Where'd the miner go? Right there. We're going to want another miner right there, just kind of picking that off a bit as well. So just go like that. There we go. And then we'll just join those together. Oh, not there, we're not going to do it. That's not a great place to do it, right in front of the... It'd probably work, I'm just not sure I like the idea. Okay, and drop that in there, and we'll go with you there, there, and there. We're going to have to kind of just double it up down here. And we're going to need a little bit there. And that's the whole thing. That, I believe, is everything mined off. We might need something off the top here. Should I go up to the top here? We might need one extra, couple of miners right here just to get this last little bits here. In fact, we can just do a one by himself here. He can mine that last little piece off for us, and we'll hopefully just get it all cleaned off. Okay. Well, that should be episode 26. I thank you for joining me. We got that base built down south. This might have been a little bit longer. We've got our steel back on track. We've recognized we've got to start dealing with this ore issue, so we're going to have to still do better than this, but that should get us through with our quick little expansion there. And I hope you join me next time. Appreciate any likes, all comments, and please subscribe. I'm Nerd Dad, and I'm out.